What's going on, everybody? Welcome in to Blazers Uprise Live here on a Monday night. Hopefully, you all enjoyed your Mondays. Mine was pretty hectic. Eric's, I assume, has been pretty hectic. But the website is now officially launched. There will be maybe a couple hiccups here and there in terms of maybe the formatting and whatnot, but it should be good to go. Definitely give us feedback on the website. We're open to that. But we've already published a couple articles. Shout out Sean. Shout out Will Gibson. Sean is embarking box in chat. And yeah, we're looking forward to getting this ball finally rolling as we head into next season. Eric, how's your day been? What are some of your thoughts in general, maybe about the website, or I don't know, just about life, man? Why is your webcam frozen? It's frozen again. Cause Skype isn't frozen. Oh wait, no, I can't minimize Skype. Yeah, okay. There, you should be animated. We animated Eric. We animated the robot. Sorry, y'all. The robot is now moving. Eric, what are you thinking, man, about the website and all that? Yeah. I had a long day. All right. There. Now you're. Oh, sorry. I was zooming you out. Okay, Eric, go. Thoughts, man.
Yeah, obviously, seemingly nothing can ever go fully right with us.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. Um, but yeah, had some hiccups with the website. The mobile issues I think have gotten fixed. Um, and also, at least the writers we have on there so far and be able to publish works for. Now it's just a matter of whether we can get all the writers on there. And yeah, hopefully it'll go well, and I hope you guys enjoy the content. Um, yeah, I know some people have been working really hard, and we have a lot of really good writers from places all over the world, and I'm really excited about sharing all their work with you guys.
Yeah, I'm impressed by the quality that we have, and yeah, hopefully this stream won't have many hiccups. My day has just been a roller coaster, man. But had a work bonus that I had to go achieve. That's why the stream's going a little bit late, and had to sort out things with the website. But yeah, I just echo Eric's thoughts on that, and yeah, just excited to get things underway. Definitely give us feedback, as I said, and if especially if there's something like maybe the ends of articles getting cut off, we did fix that because I know right when we dropped a couple articles, that was a little bit of a problem, but we got that fixed, and we're gonna try and make sure to get everything running as smoothly as we possibly can. Huge shout out to Eric for doing a really good job organizing some of our writers and getting things going. Anyway, chat, I hope you guys have had a good day. Appreciate you tuning in on a Monday where we do have more Blazers news to talk about. We have the never-ending Ben Simmons rumors that everybody loves, and we have a signing, another solid training camp signing, another pretty well-known training camp player, that is Marquese Chris, who last season played for the Golden State Warriors, broke his leg, but he is now healthy and ready to go into next season. He's a presumptive roster player, even though it's just a training camp deal. We will talk about him. And what else do we have on tap, Eric? I think Dame's wedding. That's
Dame
what I'm
got
forgetting.
married.
Mm-hmm. It was
Looked
a
like
party.
the event of the year there.
Yeah, yeah. Snoop Dogg was there. Bradley Beal was there. DeRozan was there. Like all of Dame's former teammates were there. Draymond was there.
Common performed.
Yeah. Common was there too? I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
I know Snoop Dogg was there, but that's
Him and
legit.
Snoop performed, I guess, and then someone else I'm forgetting, but
That is absolutely legit. Two people that weren't there, Neil Olshey and Terry Stotts. I saw some people talking about that. But shout out to Dame. Congrats to Dame for getting married. Congrats to CJ because he's about to be a father. Pictures made that evident. So shout out to both of them.
very cool. Yeah, he had to make it official after this weekend when people were like, "Hey, you guys haven't mentioned anything about this." So
Yeah.
it's now social media official. CJ and his wife are are expecting. Looks like it's not too far away either.
Yeah, yeah. So we'll see. He might have to miss a game or two, but obviously bigger priorities than playing a game of basketball is having your first child. So congrats to CJ McCollum. Maybe he'll miss that November 1st game when the Sixers play us. Segue. Just kidding. We're not going to talk about the Ben Simmons stuff yet. I want to talk about Marquese Chris first. Chris says, I got to make a Chris swap. That's a little bit of a tongue twister, but also my tongue has been twisted this entire stream. Chris, man, I was making the thumbnail. I was like, does he have a Chris swap? I'm so used to you just absolutely churning them out right when news drops, and that's how you ended up with 2 Portland Trailblazers having your edits as their profile pictures with Larry Nance Jr. and Greg Brown. So I was surprised not to see one, Chris. I'll be looking forward to that. So we just got Marquese Chris in a Warriors uniform, disgusting, in this thumbnail. Shout out JM for the $5 dono. He says Stotts was on his way to the wedding but got trapped in traffic on the way and didn't know how to scheme his way out of it. Hope all is well, fellas. Appreciate it, JM. Stotts jokes never get old, man. Stotts jokes never get old. That's a good one. Appreciate the dono. So what were your initial thoughts, Eric, on Marquese Chris signing with the Portland Trailblazers? Shams broke the news. What was your initial reaction?
I like it. I also like that it's non-guaranteed, so we're not like tied to him if he's not quite ready to play, or his legs still bothering him, or if he's not quite as athletic as he was. Then we're not forced to pay him or keep him on the roster or anything like that. I hope we do this with a few other players, actually, as we get closer to training camp and there's several players who are unsigned still. Just invite, you can have up to 20 players in your training camp roster. So just invite a bunch on non-guaranteed deals or training camp deals and let the best 1 or 2 players fight it out. And then also when we talked about this last time with Dennis Smith Jr., you can have non-guaranteed contracts on your roster up until January 10th if the player agrees to it. So it could be a case where we could have both of those players on the roster on non-guaranteed contracts. And if we need the roster spot, like Olshey likes to keep that roster spot open in case of a trade or something happened in the buyout market or whatever, we could easily just waive one of those guys and bring in the other person. But that gives us an extra 3 months into the season to kind of take a look at them and just have them with the team and stuff like that. So I like the idea of just signing a couple of guys who are talented and who were obviously high lottery picks and who could still possibly give us something that we don't have, but we're not also locked into them or anything if it doesn't work out.
Yeah, solid player. I don't think he's going to overtake Cody Zeller like some people have said. Cody Zeller goes into this season very underrated by a lot of Blazer fans, it seems. And there's an article on the website talking about Cody Zeller from Mr. Embarking Box, a.k.a. Sean. I need to learn how to say his last name because I feel like I would butcher it, so I'm not even going to say it. But yeah, I feel like Cody Zeller is underrated going into this season. I don't think Chris is necessarily going to steal his role, but Chris is a guy who showed some good things last season for Golden State. He's
the season before.
Was it the season before?
Yeah, he missed. I think he came back and played 2 games for a few minutes at the end, but I believe he missed it.
I thought he played. I thought he played last year. I thought he played.
No, he didn't play at all last year.
He played 2 games. Okay, yeah.
It was,
so 2019,
I think it was at the end of the
2020.
season he came back and just played a few minutes, but yeah.
Yeah, because I was watching his highlights from a game on December 20th or December something 2020. So only played 2 games last year. He looked good the year before for Golden State. That season he shot 58% from 2. He shot 77% from the free throw line. Averaged 9 points per game in 20 minutes for Golden State per 36 stats for
17
anybody.
17 and 17, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. His per 36 stats, for anybody that cares, is 16.5 points per 36, 11 rebounds, 3.5 assists. So he's a guy who can pass a little bit. So it seems like the Blazers are going after a very specific archetype in terms of their front court, which is athleticism mixed with some passing ability. Now, Cody Zeller doesn't have athleticism, but
he does.
He's fluid, he's agile. I wouldn't say he's athletic.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't say like he's athletic in terms of like Larry Nance Jr. or Marquese Chris or Nasir Little, that type of athleticism. He's more of like a fluid, agile, kind of quick-footed center.
He doesn't look like he'd be athletic at all. But
he's not unathletic. He's not unathletic. I'll say that. But he's a guy who can pass. And then Larry Nance Jr. is an athletic 4 who can pass. Marquese Chris is an athletic 4/5 who can pass a bit. It seems like that's the type of players Portland is really targeting this offseason. Even when you look at Dennis Smith Jr., who's a point guard, but he's a terrific athlete, and you got Simons, and you got Nasir Little. So it's just kind of weird how Portland is really targeting athleticism this offseason, even right down to their 14th, 15th spots. He's an athletic big, broke his leg last year. That shouldn't really completely kill his athleticism. Hopefully he's still an athletic big, but he is a guy who can pass. He is a guy who can finish around the rim. He's a solid rebounder. I think he has the foot speed to maybe guard some 4s. During that 2020 season per 36, he averaged 1.9 blocks per 36 and 1.2 steals per 36 in 2019-2020. So he's a guy that can get steals. He's a guy who can block some shots. He's an intriguing guy who I feel like if Zeller goes down could break out and be like a good backup big man, and that's what I wanted with our backup big. I felt like we needed a third string big who you could kind of trust, who had made some waves in the NBA. He hasn't been super consistent over his NBA career, but he's a guy that if you have to throw him in there, his athleticism fits the bench, and I feel like on a well-coached team, he can be a guy who, if he has to play, won't hurt us and won't be a guy that you're like, ugh, he's out there, if that makes sense.
Yep, absolutely agree. And he's one of those quick-footed jumpers, like who can like jump and then jump again real quick, super bouncy, at least hopefully he still is. And the Blazers haven't had a lot of those guys. They've had kind of bigs that are solid balance-wise, but not really quick jumpers. So that'll be good to have a guy like that. Like even Whiteside's a good lob target, but he wasn't like a quick jumper, you know? So
yeah.
Part of the reason why players like Dame get so accused of being bad lob targets is they haven't really had those quick jump guys that a lot of other bigs or point guards have in their bigs. So that'll be nice to have that option if we need it, along with, like you said, athletic wings as well. So the goal this offseason was definitely to get more athletic, to get quicker, to be able to pressure, I think, and then on offense to have guys who can handle the ball and pass from any position. And I think they did a great job of accomplishing those tasks, short of the asterisk you always have to throw in there. Short of a CJ trade, I think the players we're continuing to add are the types that can help us get to be a better team than we've been in the past few years.
Yeah. Are you trying to segue this into talking about a CJ trade? Are you ready to go there right now?
I'm not ready to go there. I always have to throw in that asterisk.
Okay. So, I mean, yeah, not much more needs to be said about Chris. So if you don't want to go to the CJ trade, Eric, where are we going?
Well, while I see Chiefin in here right now, I invited him to come play basketball on Saturday, and he ducked me, so just got to call him out on there. I think he's scared.
Isn't this not the first time he's done that? Mm-hmm. Hasn't he done that before?
Mm-hmm. That's
Chiefin, how are you going to talk like that and then duck, man?
In his defense, it was at like 8 in the morning, and he didn't want to get up.
Yeah, you're crazy for playing at 8 in the morning. I would duck that too. I can't blame him. I can't even trash talk about that. That's disgusting. All right, so Do you want to talk Dame Wedding? Do you want to
So,
talk Simmons? What do you want? I'll
uh,
let you kind of run the ship.
Gibbo's asking who we should bring in on a training camp roster
Who
or who else.
else?
Yeah.
I don't know. There's like so many guys that would be intriguing. There's nobody that stands out because anybody that stands out should be on more than a training camp deal. Like I could sit here and say James Ennis, but like he should be more. He should be on a normal contract. I'm shocked he's not signed yet. Uh, I I would still like honestly Harry Giles on a training camp contract if he doesn't get signed elsewhere. I would bring in. Other than that, I don't know. Do you have any names off the top of your head?
I mean, there's several former Blazers like Wenyen Gabriel, Noah Vonleh, those kind of guys. So yeah,
Vonleh's just so to
yeah.
me.
I'm just saying as a training camp, Scal as well. Yeah,
Actually, Chandler Hutchison.
yeah, that's who you want.
Chandler Hutchison, yeah, because he got cut. I want him on a normal deal. I still believe in his talents. He's been injured a lot and hasn't really gotten a consistent stretch where he's been able to play and learn on the fly. He's just hasn't been able to get enough games. He's one of those guys that I feel like if he's able to get healthy, could be a solid NBA player. He's a solid defensive player, and his 3-point shot improved last season, was up to 36%, only in 25 games, so it's not a huge sample, but I've always kind of been a believer in his talent from before the draft, so I feel like that's a guy who is somebody you could bring into training camp and not know exactly what you're going to see with him, and he has the talent, in my opinion, to maybe win a roster spot and provide some depth at the 3. We don't necessarily need depth there, so he's not a position of need, but I'm just kind of looking at talent. That's a guy I'd definitely look at, and honestly, if you can get him with a 2-way contract, you do that in a heartbeat. So that's a guy I would look at.
Yeah, for sure. That's another good point. Was we still have that second 2-way, and how is he been in the league 3 years now?
Yeah, this would
so
be
he
his
still
fourth
has
year.
one more year. Similar to TJ Leaf last year. So, yeah, I'm all for that. Also, I'm pretty sure Dame liked him in that draft.
Yeah,
So
Dame's worked out with him before, I think.
coming
so
from a small school, yeah.
So that's a Dame guy. So I wouldn't be surprised if that happened.
So yeah, that would be man. Yeah, now that you say a 2-way, that would be perfect. He probably will get picked up by another team since he's still young and, like you said, has some potential. But 2-way, I'm all for that. And then we still have our roster spots left too. And
Yeah,
the way the 2-ways are set up this year, you can still be with the team the entire season. So I'm all for that.
Somebody said Lewis King. I think he's on a roster. I forget which roster, but I think he's on a roster.
Is he on the Kings still?
I don't know. I don't know whose roster, but I'm pretty sure he's on somebody else's roster already. Isaac Sandstrom is trying to get a 5-minute ban. We already did that experiment. No. I can't think of any other names. You guys feel free to keep shouting out names in terms of potential training camp invites. That's a really good question to the person who asked it. I forget. It was Gibbo. Gibbo was the one who asked it. So
That's Will Gibson, by the way.
Oh, it's Will Gibson. All right. Good question, man. I've yet to read his article that dropped, but I'm looking forward to it. I think I read the rough draft.
You kind of read the rough.
Yeah, but all right. Talented. We got talent. Tyreek Evans is a name he throws out. I wouldn't be against it. He has to be reinstated, though, right?
Yeah, he hasn't officially been reinstated, but
yeah. So if you're able to get him reinstated, that's a guy. I mean, he had some talent, and he had a good season the year before he got suspended. He's a big playmaking combo guard who isn't bad defensively. He's he's okay defensively. So that is kind of like an emergency guard would be interesting. In 2017-2018, in 31 minutes per game, he averaged 19 points per game, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. He shot 45% from the field and 40% from 3. Now, that's kind of looking like an outlier season, but, I mean, The season
You
after
don't know
that,
what he's done since then.
yeah, the season after that, he struggled, and then he got a drug suspension for 2 years, so he could be absolutely horrible. But if you're just going to bring in guys on a training camp deal just to see what they are, why not bring in a guy like that who in 2017, 2018, where he was only 28 years old, right now he's only 31, so he's still kind of in his prime. So if he's been using those 2 years to kind of stay ready, maybe he's a guy who can contribute, and you could probably figure that out in training camp, or he's a guy who's just absolutely awful and you figure that out and you just let him walk. That would be a guy I would definitely look at if you were able to get him reinstated.
Yeah. See, I don't include the Billups stuff because I believe Olshey thinks he's innocent. So I don't think in Olshey's mind that's a bad character person. But other than the Billups hiring, if you want to go that route, there's not a lot of. I just don't see them taking those kind of guys.
I mean, but it's a drug thing, you know. It's not like.
But it wasn't weed though. I mean, it was hardcore drugs. So yeah.
But also, I mean, I'm not gonna talk about the law in Oregon, but I mean, if there's a state for him to go,
right.
I don't know. I feel like you can't.
What, rehab or something now with no criminal charges?
I mean, like, if he's like rehabbed from that, I feel like people are kind of messed up if they like attack his character because he had a drug issue. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, addiction is I don't know. Like, I don't want to go into addiction and all that, but it's something that a lot of people struggle with, you know, and they use stuff to cope. I mean, we don't know. You know what I'm saying? We don't know his backstory, but it's not like he, you know, did drugs and hurt somebody else that we know of. You know what I mean? It's like he was hurting himself by doing that. So I can't sit here and really judge him if he's rehabbed from it. So I don't view him as necessarily a bad character guy just because of that, even though a lot of people would probably try and use it in order to criticize Olshey.
Yeah, that's true. I find it unlikely that you'd have like as big of a problem to get kicked out of the NBA and then all of a sudden just use that time wisely to work on your game or whatever, hoping you come back. I mean, I hope that's what he did. But yeah.
I mean, I'm not talking likelihood. I'm just talking options that I would look at. Somebody said Jamal Crawford, which is just an absolute joke and
no.
Come on, man. Jamal like Crawford, J.R. Smith. Yeah, we want a 42-year-old Jamal Crawford, man. That's how we're going to improve our defense. Yikes. Some people got to stop living in the past with certain names, man. Time has passed him by. Alrighty.
Phillips played with him in L.A., didn't he?
Yeah, and Crawford was old then. How old is Chauncey? Is Crawford older than Chauncey?
No.
He's close. Chauncey Billups is 44.
Yeah. Jamal
Crawford is 41. Okay, so 3-year difference. Yeah, I wouldn't know that. Those guys started their career before my NBA, before I watched the NBA, so I don't know. Other than that, you want to move on.
Hey, man, Dallas brought in Monte Ellis. And like a bunch of other like old people, Isaiah Thomas and God, I can't remember the other one, but yeah.
Somebody said Sebastian Telfair. Sebastian Telfair is only 36 years old. That's kind of crazy to think about. He's only 36.
That was the thing with like Brandon Roy for the longest time. Like, oh man, he's still only 32 or whatever. It's like, oh man, that's so sad to think about.
How old is Brandon Roy? You're gonna make me Google that too. I'm just Googling ages. Brandon Roy's 37. Brandon Roy's, I didn't realize he was older than Telfair, but he did play multiple years in college. So
yeah.
Anyway, you want to move on and talk about your favorite off-season acquisition targets?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, Benjamin Simmons, your favorite.
Yeah, Benjamin Simmons was riding a horse today, and then someone made the parallel that there's a statue in Portland of someone riding a horse, and that means he's coming to Portland. Yeah. So
Bro,
for
I
those that missed
can't.
it, for those that missed it last night, though, apparently Ben Simmons very recently, within the last few days, started following um, Damian Lillard on Instagram, and so yeah, that had to turn into a big ordeal.
Eric. How many times have I said to not read too much into social media follows?
So many times.
Shervin was too hype, says Jared. Shervin has listened to me. I'm actually very disappointed in him because I know he's heard me say not to look too much into social media follows. You know how many times I've heard, oh, so-and-so unfollowed this person and followed this person and followed this organization and yada, yada, yada. In like 99% of the time, it literally ends up meaning nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't understand, bro. Like, when have we ever found out that a trade is happening because of who somebody followed on social media? Can somebody tell me one time that has happened?
But Tori, Dame liked that picture first of him with Ben Simmons in Blazer uniforms, and then Ben followed him. That has to mean something.
I don't even want to talk right now. I don't want to say this for the millionth time because I've said this on so many streams, guys. I've said not to overread the situation, not to read too much into stuff like that. Bro, we didn't. People will be like, LeBron followed Westbrook's wife. When was that? In the middle of the season? That did not confirm that That did not confirm that Westbrook was being traded here, man. Because the thing is, they hadn't agreed on a deal yet. Like, bro, like, people... See, that's the thing. If they can tie anything to the deal after the fact, they will, even if it's a pure coincidence. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm sure LeBron and Westbrook talked, and LeBron said, yeah, it would be cool for you
to... Well, they had that picture of them together.
Yeah.
In the offseason, yeah.
That didn't confirm that Westbrook was getting traded there because LeBron talked to Westbrook and maybe then followed his wife because of it. So, yeah. Chiefin, I want you to just keep track and be our breaking news reporter, bro. You can be our Woj. And you can actually outdo Woj because the way you're going to do it is you're just going to literally keep a spreadsheet with who every athlete is following on all their social medias, all right? And then you're going to update it by the day. And whenever it changes, you are going to report that a trade is happening, right? Since, you're able to predict trades from that, apparently. So you're going to be our woes, Chief, and congratulations. You've been promoted from viewer to our woes. Come on, man. Yeah, nobody's ever predicted trades off that. Like, I've heard people try, and it's been wrong.
What if Chiefin every time?
Bro, if Chiefin does it, he can come have my chair. I will move out of this house, and he can come sit here on the stream, and he can be your co-host.
All right.
Yeah. It ain't happening. Not happening. Just like Chiefin ain't showing up to play you basketball. It's not happening.
He's sucking.
Yep. So sorry to be a buzzcut. Eric, do you wanna have fun and say like it's happening or like
No, well, so along with the following thing, there was also a guy on Twitter who in his bio said he's a Philadelphia 76ers insider. Never heard of the guy before. I don't even think he had a check mark. But then he said that the Blazers and Sixers have a somewhat of a agreement in place, but the Sixers are looking for a third team to ship Tobias Harris off in the deal as well, so they don't have to take on too much salary because we are giving them both CJ and Rocco, apparently.
Yeah, no.
Chiefin, I am not putting words in your mouth. You did not have to work. You said you work till late, so you didn't want to play in the morning. That's what you sold. That's what you said. Don't try to say you were working at that time.
Yes. Bro, I would be so pissed if we traded Roko with CJ for Ben Simmons. I would be so pissed. I would be, yeah. I could not. Did the guy say we were trading a first too or something?
No, I think. See, this is the only thing that makes sense is that, like, if we're not giving up firsts and stuff like that, I guess Roko makes sense because he has the value of like including two firsts. But yeah,
dude, they have to trade him. They have to trade him. Like, what are they going to get that's better than CJ? CJ is the type of player they need, bro. You absolutely cannot include Robert Covington in that because everybody that's screaming, oh, well, Ben Simmons will just make our defense that much better. If we're trading Robert Covington to them, the defensive upgrade is going to be minimal at best. I think Ben Simmons is a better defender than Roko on the ball. That's the only area Ben Simmons is better defensively than Roko, and Roko, I think, has gotten a little bit underrated in that area. So yeah, we might improve the defense slightly. The offense takes more of a hit than we improve the defense in that trade. All for a guy who might not even want to be here, who mentally folds in the playoffs. Bro, if we trade CJ and Roko for him, I will be pissed. That'll be a pissed off stream. I don't even know. That'll be so weird.
That third team that's getting Tobias Harris or whatever, if that rumor's true, better be giving us a player equal to Roko in that deal as well.
Bro, but who's gonna give up a player like Roko for Tobias Harris?
I don't know.
I don't think that's possible.
Yeah, I don't know.
Nobody's going to give up that much value for Tobias Harris. He's being paid $35 million a year, and he's worse than CJ. Like,
all right, let me ask this question to chat. Oh, can you do a poll?
I think we did this poll on if they do CJ and Roko for Simmons.
Oh, yeah, we did. It was like 80%, right?
80% said no.
Because, yeah, so Philadelphia would have to include someone else in that trade. They can't do that without. I think they still need to include like around $2 million or so. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and then you'll have the people must have forgotten about CJ stepping out of bounds. Bro, don't make me cringe, man. Come on, David. You must have forgotten about Ben Simmons passing up a wide open dunk. Come on. Like, that's the thing. The whole argument is so annoying because people will be like, well, CJ stepped out of bounds and choked in the playoffs, and it'll be like, so did Ben Simmons. Like, literally every knock you have for CJ McCollum in the playoffs last year, you can apply to Ben Simmons, but like at least CJ wasn't too scared to actually try and be effective offensively where Ben Simmons was running from the ball, man. I just hate how people try and justify a Ben Simmons trade by trashing CJ or like clowning CJ. I don't like it. I just don't like it. So, whatever.
Australia Neil Olshey was not here at the beginning of the stream, I guess, when we talked about the Marquese Chris deal.
Appreciate the dono, Australian Neil Olshey, but we taled about it.
Thoughts on the MC deal? It makes us contenders, in my opinion. Yeah, you would say that, Olshey.
Yeah, Olshey try to. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's coming at it to where just trading CJ for Ben straight up. So let me ask. Well,
we got to think another dono that we forgot to think.
Okay,
but
I'll
think it after that. I'll let you ask the question because then we can talk about that guy.
David, I have a question for you. Would you rather, if it took Roko too, are you doing that trade still? Or are you only doing it if it's CJ for Ben straight up?
He says he wants to bring CJ off the bench, so he's CJ should be the sixth man type of guy. So he obviously, yeah. Shout out JM1231 $2 dono. Thoughts on Jeremy Grant as a trade target? I would rather have Grant than Simmons, to be honest. Grant fits better. But that isn't really an option. So
I was thinking about this earlier. Man, if the Pistons probably don't want Ben Simmons, but if we could get Jeremy Grant and Sadiq Bey for CJ, basically.
See, why wouldn't the Sixers just take those two instead of CJ?
I don't know. They want a lead guard, not a... Because Jeremy Grant's kind of similar.
Yeah, but yeah. I mean, I could see why maybe Philadelphia would do that, but Detroit... that would be the dumbest move of the offseason. You would just stunt Cade Cunningham.
That's what I'm...
Yeah.
But Detroit's not going to want CJ, so we get back to needing a third player, and yeah.
They're just... Honestly, they could be a play-in team next year. They could be like a quietly okay team. Sadiq Bey takes a jump. Killian Hayes takes a jump. They got Cade Cunningham. They got Jeremy Grant. Kelly Olynyk is going to be their starting center. That could be like a 9th, 10th seed in the East. So I think they just run into next season and maybe surprise a few people.
All right. Someone might want to mark that down.
I mean, I said that about the Hawks last year, and they made it all the way to the conference finals. So
I mean, everyone said that about the Hawks.
Well, no, you said the Hawks were going to miss the playoffs.
Everyone thought they would be like a fringe playoff team.
Yeah. I had them in. But no, there's probably going to be a team like the Knicks last year. There's probably going to be a team that everybody expects to be at the bottom in the East that takes a jump. Right? Like, I don't know who that team necessarily might be. If I had to bet, it would be Detroit. But there's too many bad teams in the East for one of them not to, like, take a jump and be in contention for a playing spot. Right? Like, be a 35, 36, 37, 38 win team. And that could be Cleveland. You know, I'm talking about teams that people expect to be like 20 to 25 wins. I don't know. Do you have, like, what bottom feeder do you think is underrated in the East?
I think Toronto's going to have a bounce back year. I don't know if you consider them a bottom feeder or not.
I don't.
Do you have them ahead of Detroit or not?
I have them ahead of Detroit, yes.
Okay, so, I mean, the teams that are for sure ahead of them are, well, I guess it depends on the trades, but Philadelphia, Brooklyn, Milwaukee, New York, Atlanta, Miami, Boston. That's Indiana. That's 8 for sure. So then you're talking about Washington, Charlotte, Chicago. Chicago is probably better than them with the moves they've made. Toronto, that's 9. Yeah, so Charlotte's. I put Charlotte ahead of Detroit. That's 10.
Yeah, I'm not saying make play-in. I'm not saying Detroit's going to make the play-in. I said they might be in contention for play-in because nobody even expects them to be in contention for play-in. Because you got those like Orlando, Cleveland, I'm forgetting some of the bottom feeders there in the East, but you do have like 4 or 5 bottom feeders.
It's basically just Orlando, Cleveland, Detroit, and if you want to include Washington in there, I think those are the ones.
Why am I blanking? Who am I blanking on, chat?
I listed all the teams. That's all of them.
Was that all the teams?
Orlando, Cleveland, Detroit, and Washington are the bottom 4, I think.
How do I feel like... Yeah, I mean...
I think Washington's clear, so yeah, it's...
Okay, so out of Detroit, Orlando, and Cleveland, which one do you think is underrated? That's my question.
I still think it kind of depends on if they make a move or not, but I think Cleveland is a little better than Detroit right now. But I could see them battling for 13th, but yeah, I don't think that's close to being play-in level contention.
Yeah, actually, I should have just included both conferences because I think Cleveland, Orlando, Detroit, Minnesota, OKC, and Houston are like the 6 consensus bottom feeders right now. What?
You said Minnesota.
Yeah, I did say Minnesota.
What?
We
got some people in chat that think Minnesota is a lock
isn't it
for a playoff seed.
Isn't it Reese?
Reese and some other people,
Think
yeah.
a lock for what?
For a playoff seed.
Like a
Like
playoff
making
seed?
the playoffs, yeah.
Or a play-in seed?
No, playoffs.
Like top 8 or top 6?
Like, yeah. Like, make the playoffs an actual series, I don't know.
Top 8? Oh my god. What? Reese, you're gonna have to defend that
Oh,
one, man.
we got
What
a
are you
5-hour argument about it.
What?
I'd put them somewhere in the middle. They're not bottom feeders anymore, I don't think, but they're also not.
Yeah, they're the
I still
top
don't
of the
think
bottom
they're-
feeders, but they'll win like 31 games. They'll go like 31 and 51. We're going to have all our mods do standings predictions, man.
Yeah.
And we're going to have to look back at it at the end of the year and see Reese have Minnesota at like 48 and 34 and just laugh when they're like 30 and 52. Come on, Reese. Reese said, yeah, I never said they were a lock, TF. Good chance. Okay, good chance of making the playoffs is still crazy, bro. It's still a little crazy. I don't know, man. I mean, I can look at the roster and be like, okay, yeah, they got a little bit of talent, but when you compare them to other teams in the West, they don't. Defensively, there's just so many question marks, and yeah, they might have defended better during or after they hired Chris Finch, but small sample size, teams didn't take him too seriously. I don't think that lasts. So,
yeah, Reese is just, and others are the latest to. I've been hearing this basically since Garnett and company went to the Western Conference Finals that one time, and they've been absolutely terrible ever since.
mm-hmm.
I've been hearing that they passed the Blazers. They have all these number 1 draft picks, Wiggins, Cat, and Anthony Bennett, and whoever else they had that one year. You know, they're so much better than the Blazers and have so much more of a future than guys like Dame and CJ and all that. And they always underachieved. They had Jimmy Butler, and they barely made the 8th seed on the last night of the season and had to win to even get that seed, and then lost in the playoffs to Houston. So, yeah, just I don't. I'll never. I mean, part of that, I guess, is just it's not really like a grudge or anything, but I'm just so sick of that I'll never believe it until it actually happens again.
There's always people that overrate him. It's insane, man. It's insane. It's always, this is going to be the Wolves' year. This is going to be Andrew Wiggins. He's going to break out. This is going to be their year. But yeah, I'm not on that hype train whatsoever, man. They're missing the playoffs. They're not going to make a playing game. They're going to be in the bottom 5 in the West.
Yep. I don't really like what Memphis did this offseason either, so I could see them.
Yeah, I don't want to. We'll have a stream dedicated to standings predictions with our mods, and I will have a video for my standings predictions. So those that will come up at the start of October. So still got a month until we can get there. But
and speaking of videos, Torrey dropped his first one of his top 100 players in the NBA today, so go check that out on Blazers.
What were some of your takeaways? If you don't want spoilers, maybe click off the stream. But what were your thoughts on that?
I haven't watched it yet.
So. You haven't watched it? Okay.
Well, I was pretty busy today.
Yeah, you were pretty busy, and we were all pretty busy. Yeah, I'm interested to see what some of the thoughts are on that. I had 3 second-year players in it making a jump. It's predictive ratings. It's basically how I think they're going to perform in 2022. And obviously, I'm taking some of last season into account to predict that. But it's predictive rankings. So I did have your guy in there. I did have Sadiq Bey in there. I had a couple other second-year players making a bit of a jump. Yeah, I don't know. I uploaded the thumbnail and then it published the still shot from the Jordan Clarkson slide. I don't know why. So then I had to re-upload the thumbnail to it. I don't know why that happened, dude. This today was just hectic and all over the place. So even my thumbnail didn't post right at launch, which was strange. Never really have that happen. So yeah, my mind has been scrambled all day, chat. I just had to like pull it together enough for the stream. And we're already 45 minutes in. I feel like we've been streaming for like 10, 15 minutes. Anyway, what else you want to talk about?
Play-by-play asks why you have Jalen Brunson over Clarkson. And before you answer, play-by-play, message me back on Twitter. I've been trying to get a hold of you. But...
Yes, message her back on Twitter. Because defense and efficiency and better passer. Pretty easy, actually, yeah.
Jalen Brunson's pretty underrated.
Where can I find the top 100 vid? On Blazers Up Press, on our main channel. Are there people here that do not know that we have a main channel?
It's just
that might actually be
without
now.
The live. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. There's the link to our main channel where we'll do post-game streams and videos.
He's doing it in several videos, so this is just the first part from 100 to 91, so...
Yes. Figured it'd be something fun to kill some time until we get into training camp. I've got to figure out what I'm going to do for the other thumbnails, though. That's the part I'm struggling with, because I don't necessarily want to spoil who's in certain ranges, but it's like, I can't just post the same thumbnail 11 videos in a row. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So that's kind of what I'm struggling with right now. And I don't have a solution.
Trailblazer can't even spell the thing right he was trolling about.
I know. Come on, man.
You don't have to delete that. It's fine to have that opinion. Though he's trolling.
Even though it's a really bad opinion.
Yeah, he didn't even spell it right. But
come on, man.
Reese, you didn't get called crazy. I had the same thing, so...
When will 10 to 1 drop? I'll do 10 to 6 and then 5 to 1. What about Brunson?
I don't know if he's talking about Brunson or Clarkson, but...
I don't know what's happening. I don't remember calling you crazy. I think I called you crazy at first, but I honestly didn't realize how good Brunson was. Like, he was just quietly really, really solid. So that, I don't know. I looked at his stats, and honestly, statistically, you can make a case for him being top 5, 6 man of the year for sure. So, you know, you're not crazy for that. You're crazy for the Timberwolves thing, but you're not crazy for that. Russ is not top 12. I'll tell you that right now.
Which video will he appear in?
Russ? Guess what range I ranked him in.
Somewhere 30 to 50?
Yes, good guess. I'm not going to spoil it, but yeah. I do have him above Ben Simmons. I will tell you all that. I'm gonna get hate for that. I don't want to spoil the upcoming videos, man. I don't want to spoil it for you guys. So, just stay on the lookout. Gonna try and do them daily. That's the plan. And then we'll get into player previews, and that'll go up basically to October. So that's the plan. Anything else you want to touch upon today, Eric? Stream's gonna be a little shorter today. Chat.
No, I think we covered pretty much everything.
Yeah. We'll be live again Thursday.
Mills was just asking about the schedule breakdown. I know you had to redo it.
Yeah. I recorded a 31. Okay, do you notice how my mic is better today?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I figured that out. I recorded
a 30 on too because
I had this as a setting and I didn't realize it. This sounds so much better. Mm-hmm. You hear that difference? So somehow the switch on my mic got bumped, but I didn't think about even checking it because I never flip it. So somehow it accidentally got bumped, which is really hard because it's not something that like easily moves. So yeah, I recorded a 31-minute schedule breakdown, and then I was like, wow, the audio sounds so bad. I hadn't listened back to like streams or anything for the previous couple of weeks when everybody was complaining about my mic. But, like, some people were like, your mic's completely fine. And I'm like, okay, then it's probably just, I don't know what the deal is. But if some people were saying my mic's fine, it's fine. But then I started to edit the schedule breakdown, the 30-minute recording. And I was like, oh, my goodness, my mic sounds horrible. So I'm going to re-record that. What's tough is, like, I want it to be a good video because I want it to be a video that people can look back on as the season progresses. Whenever I record something and then the recording's messed up, if I immediately record it again, that second recording is always, like, bad in my opinion because I just recorded the first one. And just kind of the way I talk in it, the way I the way I speak in it is just like, I feel like you can tell I'm just annoyed that I'm recording it again. So I don't know. I didn't want it to be something where I put it out and I was like, this isn't that good of a video because I want people to revisit it. So I'm just going to wait until like mid-September to re-record that. So that's the plan. Until I plan on dropping it right after this top 100 player series, if that makes sense. So. Anyway.
Talk about Ben Simmons' point of attack defense. It's good. I mean,
yes, Reese,
what do you want us to say about
it? It's good. I don't really feel like having a Ben Simmons argument. I had a long Ben Simmons argument with Shervin last night because I hopped in Discord voice chat and he immediately brought up Ben Simmons.
Was this after I argued with him for 3 hours?
This dude just wants to argue about Ben Simmons 6 hours a day, apparently. Oh, man. Yeah, so I just, after last night, I just don't even want to talk about Ben Simmons like that. You guys know how I feel about him. Reese, I've talked about his point of attack defense on stream before. So yeah, I'm just not gonna go in depth again until we trade for him, since that's guaranteed to happen because of Twitter or Instagram or wherever there was follows happening.
AZ Nightmare asked a good question. In the rare scenario Chauncey is not a good coach or doesn't end up being a good coach, how good do you guys think the Blazers will do or not?
We're screwed. No, honestly, if he isn't a good coach, he'll still be better than Stotts. So.
I think worst case scenario, we're about the same as last year. First round exit, fighting to not be in the play-in game. So if he's a bad coach, I don't think that really changes too much of our trajectory from last year. Probably about the same. So yeah, I think that's worst case scenario. So I mean, that would suck a lot to not have any of the stuff that he's been talking about all summer come to fruition. So I hope that's not the case. But yeah, I mean, I guess there is a chance that could happen.
Yeah, I'm not worried about that. People were saying talk about Norm. What do you want? Krish. Stop,
Krish.
Krish.
That's Krish's fault.
Yeah, I should have known.
Krish,
yeah.
Krish is going to be disappointed if Norm is not number one on your top 100 players.
He is not number one, but he is in my top 100. I have 6 Blazers in the top 100.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like there's 6 Blazers on this year's team that are top 100 NBA players. That'll be top 100 NBA players next season. So next video, there will at least be one of them. What about Dame's wedding? We already talked. He had that entertainment. He had lots of NBA players. We already talked about Dame's wedding and CJ's baby mama, because CJ about to have a kid. So we already touched upon that. Start of the stream. Anything else, Eric?
No.
I'm gonna get some food.
I think we covered all of it.
Yeah. So longer stream on Thursday, where hopefully, I don't know, I'm a little bit fresher. I've just been mentally exhausted today. So this is what y'all get. Appreciate you tuning in. Thursday, I don't know. If we trade for Ben Simmons or something, next 2 days we'll have an emergency stream.
Yeah, of course.
So we will have that ready. But it's September, so not a ton to really talk about. But that'll change. A month from now, we will already have our first preseason game done. Our first preseason game is in 28 days. So only a few more weeks until we get some Blazer basketball back in our lives, and we will have you covered every step of the way. Until then, just be prepared for consistent content on the website, as well as consistent videos going up until October. So the content will ratchet up starting today, basically. So definitely go check out the website if you want some written content. Support our writers. That would mean a lot to them and a lot to us. We will work as best we can to make this website truly legitimate, so to say. And yeah, I mean, looking forward to it.
Let me just say before it happens too, if the Blazers do trade for Ben Simmons, I'm not going to speak for you, but I'm pretty sure you will share the same feelings. I will not be rooting for it to fail just so I'm right. I will hope that those of you who have disagreed with our opinions on Ben Simmons are correct, and that he's the perfect fit for the Blazers, and that we win a championship with Ben Simmons. I will root for that. I'm not one of those people who will take my opinion over the Blazers' success. So, and I'm pretty sure Tori feels the same way. And so yeah, I will root for heck for Ben Simmons if he's a Blazer next year, and hope that he succeeds and that he proves me wrong. It's just I don't want to be right about that either. Like, if we trade for him and he disappears in the playoffs or something, then I'm going to be very frustrated that we wasted a season and might lose Dame because we took a chance on the wrong player. But
yeah. And honestly, if Ben Simmons gets traded here and somehow it works, it'll be because Chauncey Billups had a big say in it. So, we'll just be giving Chauncey Billups a lot of props. But, I mean, I don't know. We're not people that look to hate on Olshey. You guys know that by now. So if it happens, we'll go into it with an open mind and whatever. You know what I mean? I don't think it'll work. I can't sit here and say I don't know that it'll work. All right? I am pretty confident in thinking that Ben Simmons isn't as good of a fit as people say and raises bigger question marks than people say. But, I mean, that's just an opinion. It's not something that I know is a fact or anything. So, I mean, we'll go into next season no matter what. Pretty excited, to be honest. So, we'll have a lot to look forward to if Ben Simmons is on the team or if CJ McCollum's on the team. So, we go ahead.
With that same energy, don't be afraid to call out the people who are rooting for Billups to fail because they love Stotts and didn't think it was a coaching problem and stuff like that, or that want Olshey to be fired so badly that they want Dame to leave so that they can yell at Olshey for the rest of eternity that he made that happen and all that kind of stuff. Those are things we should be rooting for or hoping happen just to improve our show or to prove a point or something by us, or prove that we know more basketball than some other show or whatever. We don't care about all that stuff. I want to see the Blazers win a championship. Whether it makes me right or wrong, I don't care, as long as I get to watch them hoist the trophy at the end of the season.
Yep, I echo those sentiments exactly. Anything else that you want to get out of the way before I hit the outro?
No, thank you everyone for tuning in, and thank you everyone for supporting the website, and be tweeting out whenever time we drop a new article. So if you want to be alerted on that, just make sure you're following Blazers Uprise YT on Twitter, and you'll get alerts every time we drop a new article.
Yes, sir. So thank you for your support. Appreciate you tuning in. Hope you have a good rest of your Monday night. Stay tuned tomorrow for another video in that Top 100 Players series dropping. And your support for the website and everything we do means a lot. Until next one, have a good night. As always, peace out.